past, not my past, as the club's past. I would like to thank Toastmaster Taran, who has been the SA for the last term, and he made it very easy for me to take over. I was not good with technology at all, but then he taught me how to do it. Google Docs. Yeah, okay. It might sound lame, but it's not. So a huge thank you to him. And the future incoming SA, Toastmaster Amrit, who has also been supporting a lot throughout this term, and no one deserves this position more than her. So kindly give a huge round of applause to both of them. And as I've been doing this essay roles in 6 months, I know my audience pretty well. You know why? Because I know you have put your phones on silent. Right? Am I right?
Yes.
If not, kindly put on silent right now. And my audience refrain themselves from talking about sex, religion and politics. Am I right?
Yes.
It is right. And last but not the least, they only exit and enter the hall only when they hear applause. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not a know-it-all, I just know my audience. So, for the last time of this term, I want to introduce someone to the stage who has been a huge mentor. Thank you for that. Who has been a huge mentor and a big support. While I started doing essay role, I was good but not that good. But he guided me throughout, like you should do this so it can enhance your role. You can do this, it'll make your speeches even more better. How can it make you even more prepared? So, for that, give a huge round of applause to the president of this club, Toastmaster Joseph.
Thank you very much for that introduction. Dear Toastmasters and guests, a very warm welcome to the Bangalore Toastmasters Club. I call to order meeting number 1459. Let's hear that. The minutes of the previous meeting, that is meeting number 1458, was uploaded by our secretary Toastmaster Prakarsh on the group. I now request him to share a few highlights of the meeting, and dear members and guests, please withhold your applause until the minutes are passed. Toastmaster Prakarsh.
Good evening, dear members and guests.
Good evening.
For the last time, last meeting number 1458, held on 20th December 2024, was a special meeting on the occasion of Christmas. The theme of the meeting was the joy of giving. The word of the day was accord, meaning to empower or to give. For example, from the next week, I will be accorded to be VP PR of the club. The best speaker went to Toastmaster Kenneth Sterling. The best evaluator went to Toastmaster Vivek Vijayan. The best tag team player went to Toastmaster Puneet Surana. The best role taker went to Toastmaster Vishal Vasantha Kumar. And the best table topic speaker went to Toastmaster Alok Sinha. There were total 35 members and 10 guests present during the meeting. To know more, visit our YouTube channel, Bangalore Toastmasters Club. And therefore, I sign off as the secretary of the club for the term July to December 2024. Thank you.
Before he signs off, are the minutes in order?
Yes.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Prakarsh. The minutes of meeting number 1458 stands passed. I see some guests here. May I request them to please rise? Yes. this last week and the last meeting of this term. Of course, we have a couple of Toastmasters from other clubs also. Toastmaster Rajesh, welcome. Thank you all very much and hope you all have a great time. And dear members, how do we welcome our guests? You will get to know more about Toastmasters during the break, and also we have a session, brief session on Toastmasters by our VP membership, Toastmaster Brian, and you will come to know more about how Toastmasters, you could benefit from Toastmasters rather. So you may please take your seat now. And I now request the committee to please rise. Yes, dear members, these are our committee members, and here is Toastmaster Brian D'Souza, who would give you a small briefing at the end of this meeting on Toastmasters. Thank you all. Please take a seat. Most champions always say that it is easier to get onto the top than to remain there. Well, that is true in most fields. In the creative field, there is something called the creative slump that artists generally face. And that is largely due to something called fixation. And this fixation is mainly because artists sometimes have a similar mindset, use the same set of tools, frames, and styles, and then they are very fixated in viewing the world and their art in the same way. And many a time, because of that, they lose their expressions and their creativity. Well, this happens across the world, even amongst great, extraordinary people. And sometimes what happens is they internalize this, which makes them feel that their good times are over. Well, one such great artist was a Frenchman called Henri Matisse. Maybe in Indianized way, we would spell it as Henri Matisse, yes. And he was a revolutionary painter. He, along with his close friend Pablo Picasso, had made or revolutionized the way painting and sculptures were done in the 20th century. In the 1920s, he had a creative slump. And he did not know how to deal with it. In 1930, he happened to visit Philadelphia to meet an art collector, a friend of his. And that was when he was commissioned to do a painting above the windows on the arches of the new gallery of his friend. He was really, he did not know what to do, because this is the first time he had undertaken such a large project, and being used to drawing or painting on the canvas, this was of a total different scale. But then, to refer to what he had done earlier, to draw inspiration from that, he happened to see one of his earlier paintings, and he realized that he had a very simplistic approach to painting earlier, using line, form, and everything very simple. But then, over the years, what happened is, along with other artists, as photography developed, artists were forced to depict more of reality, and therefore they lost their creative expression and the creativity. So that resulted in this slump. Now he decided that, let me change this whole thing forever, my approach to painting, and he went back to his simplistic form of approach towards painting. And he changed some of his tools that he used for painting, instead of the regular brush. Of course, it was at a higher, at a greater height. So he used a bamboo stick and had a pencil at the end of it tied to do the sketches. And he pioneered the concept of cutouts, that is pre-colored paper, to make this painting. And that revolutionized the entire painting, the way painting was taken after that. Dear Toastmasters and guests, what he really did to come out of this slump was actually better listening and better thinking, and that led to better expression of his painting. And that is exactly what we do here in Toastmasters. Because Toastmasters is the best platform for better listening, better thinking, and better speaking, where we can express creatively in the best and get the best out of us. To lead us through this meeting, we have, I would say, a new leaf in our club, because he joined the club only about 7 or 8 months back. Rather, was delivered into the club. And he hails from the city of oranges. Any guesses? Nagpur, yes, and which is right at the heart of the country. A chartered accountant by qualification. He works with a multinational Grant Thornton. One thing that I have seen when any role is assigned to him is he is very committed to it. And I am sure that he is going to help our club and contribute so much to our club in the years to come. Please join me in welcoming the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Amaan Isani.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
Can't hear you guys. Good
Good
evening.
evening.
It's a Friday evening and the weekend is just around the corner. You know, the theme, turn over a new leaf. As rightly mentioned by my president, I am a new leaf for you all of you. But as I have asked a few of the members of the club, what is your take on the theme of our current meeting? They came up with some sort of similar idea, which in nutshell I will mention that despite all odds and hardship, how you think differently and transform your perspective and your purpose. I was actually reading a book written by one of the famous English commentators from India itself. Can anyone guess? Harsha Bhogle, yes. So he actually, there are two stories actually. So once in 1982-83 somewhere, he was a part of Hyderabad team, which is about to play a Ranji cricket match against Mumbai. So just one day before the match, the team was sitting in a round table, and this guy, Harsha Bhogle, asked his captain, "What is the plan for tomorrow?" This captain said, "Team देखे वहाँ पे हैदराबादी टीम देखे वहाँ पे पहले ओपनर्स का आउट करो, उसका आउट तेंदुलकर आता है, उसका आउट करे पंडित आता है, उसके बाद कांबले आता है, एक तो करते नहीं आओ." And then how he's thinking how we can lose. You know how much Mumbai made? They declared it 700 something for 3. Sanjay Manjrekar himself made 377. And Sanjay Manjrekar, when he was traveling with Harsha Bhogle after he became commentator, he said it was very interesting. When he was about somewhere 300, he played a cover drive of a spinner, Arshad Ayub. He was, very tough cricketer, very good cricketer. And the fielder didn't bother chasing the ball. He got really angry. He said, "Bhagu miya, kya kar rahe?" Then he said, 700 run mein 4 run, kya farak padta?" When the opposition has made 750, you're not going to beat. But if you're going and thinking, "I'm not going to beat," then you'll be 100 allowed. That is not how champions think. Champions always think from a perspective of how you can win. In 2006, when South Africa was in the field, Australia made 434 in a one-day international 18 years ago. That time, on an average, team scored 260 to 70, occasionally 300. Can you imagine a situation of a team of visitors in your home turf scored 430 for a mammoth total? One of the all-rounder from South African team have said that, I've played a lot on this ground, but the ground is different today. The pitch is flat. The outfield is really far. When I saw the pitch in the morning, I thought it's a 450 pitch. You know what? These are actually 15 short. That is how champions think. They always melt the negativity around and come up with a fresh perspective and give the team a fresh idea on how we can achieve the goal. So then everybody in the room, okay, so they have made 434, we can do. This is not how you win the game, but actually you can put a right framework to go and win the matches. Similarly, in that fashion, Dr. Ralph C. Smedley identified very early in 1920s that there should be a movement which will help members to improve their public speaking. In 1924, exactly 100 years ago, he established the first club in California. It is very easy for me to say it 100 years ago, but imagine the effort has been gone since last 10 decades to put this movement alive. Toastmaster International has spread its wings in more than 150 countries and have more than 200,000 members. Toastmasters International, a typical Toastmaster meeting consists of 3 segments. The first segment is a prepared speech round in which speakers are coming onto the stage, delivering their speeches with objective with respect to their project and pathways. The second objective, the second segment of the speech is a prepared speech, is a fun-filled segment in which a table topic master will be giving a topic to a member, and member has to think and deliver on the field on the topic for 1 to 2 minutes. The last segment is a general evaluator, aka the auditor of a meeting. The general evaluator will evaluate each and every aspect of the meeting. To interest the general evaluator, we have 3 tag team players. The first tag team player, who is playing the role of timer, who loves numbers, who happen to be a treasurer also, and he is aspired to become actuarial valuations in the near future. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Tarun to briefly explain the role of timer.
Greetings everyone, I am Toastmaster Tarun Menon. For those who don't know, time flies like an arrow, right? Time flies like an arrow, but fruit flies like a banana. Think about that. Time flies like an arrow, but fruit flies like bananas. So, just like that, I am the timekeeper. I am the one who gives time. I am the one who manages your time, not gives time, manages your time. When with a speech of 5 to 7 minutes, if I show the green card, that means you're in the 5th minute mark. Yellow card, 6th, and then red card, you're in trouble. And once I give a 30-second grace period, you'll hear a bang on the desk. That once you hear that, it means that your time is up. So I wish all of you the best of luck. All the best.
About the timing guidelines, I would say. The second member of this tag team is the R counter. I would like to ask Toastmaster Shreya to read out the R counter guidelines.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
Myself, Shreyas, playing the role of R counter. I will be listening very, very carefully for the use of vocal pauses and crutch words. For those who are new, I would like to elaborate what are crutch words. Crutch words are of two parts. One is the crutch words and crutch sounds. Okay, crutch words are and, but, so, well, you know, just, and there are other crutch words like honestly, actually, seriously, literally, basically. And there are sounds like ha, Okay, so these crutch words are unconsciously used by people in speeches when you're stuck in the flow of thoughts, or when you are stuck in what comes next. So these will be tracked by me, and the report will be given at the end of the session.
Thank you. We move to the third member, Toastmaster Brian, to read out the grammarian guidelines.
of the day is interest. Meaning, it has two meanings. The first one would be as follows. Assign the responsibility to someone. For example, he entrusted the decision to his deputy. The other meaning would be confer a trust upon. An example, does Toastmaster Bruno entrust me with his Royal Enfield? He does. The definition and pronunciation is found on the board. I will record those participants who properly use the word of the day and record. Furthermore, I will comment on the use of English language throughout the course of our meeting. I am watching for the 7 sins of grammar, which include double negatives, double comparisons, extra words, incorrect verb tense, confused adjectives and adverbs, and inappropriate pronoun use. I will make a note of the good uses as well, and I'll present my report at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
So are you all excited to enter the first segment of the meeting?
Yes.
Yes. So the first speaker, I would directly go to the first evaluator, Toastmaster Mahavi, to read out the speech guidelines for speaker number 1.
The purpose of this project is to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and present a well-organized speech on any topic.
Well, the person who is coming on the stage, he works in Bangalore Metro Rail Corporation. So if you have any issue regarding the you can communicate to him. He is delivering his level 1 project 2. The title of the speech is very short and simple. The title is PNJ. The title is PNJ. Please help me welcoming Toastmaster Veeresh.
Thank you for the nice introduction, Amaan. Imagine this parenting situation where your toddler kid comes to you running and crying and accusing his friend of breaking his favorite toy. What do? Are you equally angry that it was a costly gift you gave it to him recently and it got broke? I'll tell you what I did. I asked my son Aditya, did you really see him break the toy? Aditya hesitantly replied. He told me he only saw his friend go near the toy. Then I told him, let's check with him before we judge him. And later I asked this kid what happened. He told me that the toy was already loose and broken before he even picked it up. So it was not his fault. That day, my dear friends, we learned an important and a valuable lesson. The lesson of not judging others before we hear from them. Have you ever been recently punished for the wrongs that you had never committed? Or have you judged on a matter or a situation wrongly and later thought, was it fair? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is an example of principles of natural justice, or P&J for short. P&J is as old as the civilization itself. P&J has been incorporated in the courts of law to decide on various important matters. P&J becomes quintessential to decide on various matters, be it parenting or marital or workplace situations, in order to get fair judgment. And P&J avoids arbitrariness and biases, and also avoids the miscarriage of justice. Some of the principles of P&J are audi alterum partem, or hear the other side before condemning, impartial judgment based purely on the merits of the case, and third one is no one should be a judge in their own cause. Let us go through these principles using some real life scenarios and anecdotes so that we can all become better decision makers in the new year. The first one, impartial judgment based purely on the merits of the case. I couldn't think of a greater personality than Gandhiji himself to explain this further. Gandhiji was an ardent believer in truth and non-violence. He always emphasized that equal means is he always emphasized that means is as important as the goal itself. In 1920, Gandhiji gave a nationwide movement through non-cooperation movement, basically asking people to boycott all the British goods, institutions and titles to denounce the political administration of the British. People responded to it overwhelmingly. However, the tragic turn of events took place during Chauri Chaura incident in 1922. People clashed with police, they ransacked the police station, they burned down the police station, and 22 policemen died. Gandhiji took stock of the situation. He was unhappy because his principle of non-violence was breached. So he called off the movement. He decided this matter based purely on the merits or principles of the case. If Gandhiji had not decided this matter on the principles, we all would have questioned this situation. Was it fair? The second principle is audi alteram partem, or hear the other side before condemning. I can illustrate this principle using my own example and my experience. I was working in this organization. I was working hard, had good reputation, had good testimonies from the clients as well, and I was looking forward for the promotion. However, my manager received a verbal complaint against me on a particular issue, and based on this hearsay, he denied me this promotion. I approached him to seek an explanation. He denied me that too. My senior manager, Venkatesh Patil, he got to know about this whole incident and he invited me for a discussion. I went to him, explained myself. He got to know about my version of the story and decided that there was no wrong done by me. He overturned the decision by promoting me. This, my dear friends, is a classic example of audi alteram partem, or hear the other side before condemning. You need to give respect to all the perspectives in order to come to an informed decision. If my senior manager Venkatesh Patil had not intervened and given me an opportunity to hear, I would have questioned today, was it fair? The third principle is no one should be a judge in their own cause. No one should judge a matter where they have some stakes or where they're interested in the parties, because it breeds distrust and compromises fairness. Let me illustrate this principle using a corporate tussle between Reliance Industries and ONGC. These two big organizations were fighting for gas block allocation in Krishna Godavari basin. So there were high stakes involved in this matter. Government was dealing with both ONGC and Reliance Industries through various business transactions. So government could not sit on the judgment for these two industries. Government could not pass a judgment on this one. So government facilitated an independent arbitrary proceedings and also independent experts to decide and assess on the technical matters. By doing so, government facilitated the independent arbitration mechanism and brought out an impartial judgment. If government had not facilitated this, we all would have questioned, was it fair? In conclusion, my dear friends, I cannot reiterate how important the principles of P&J are any further. It is largely ignored or forgotten due to our own mistakes, where we react impulsively instead of responding fairly. So the next time you come across a situation where you are judging on a matter, please ask yourself this question: am I being fair? Or the next time you have been wrong for the wrongs that you had never committed, please don't hesitate to stand up and ask this question: was it fair? Thank you.
A very wonderful speech on natural justice. I actually do believe in opportunity of being heard. It happened to me also, Veeresh, some time back. So moving on to the second speaker. Before that, I would like to ask the second evaluator. She is a yoga trainer. She believes in pack less and travel heavy, if I'm not wrong. She is a firm believer of backpacker. I would request Rashi, Toastmaster Rashi, to read out the speech guidelines.
A very good evening to dear members and guests. The speaker is attending the project Introduction to Vocal Variety and Body Language. The purpose of the project is to practice using body language or vocal variety to enhance the speech. All the best to the speaker.
The second speaker, which is about to come on the stage, when I asked her which book reminds you of our current theme of the meeting, she said, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. She said, after reading the book, she realized that how our thoughts and feelings create our own reality and how we can change the reality by thinking it differently. Believe me, she has a sheer willpower. And with a thunderous round of applause, I request all of us to welcome Toastmaster Amrit. With a speech title, The Magic Wand.
There was a happy couple, and they both were working. They had everything that money could buy, but there was something missing in their life. After 10 years of long marriage, they were blessed with a girl child. They called her Devi. Good evening, Toastmasters and my dear guests.
Good evening.
The little girl grew beautiful and started going to school. When the couple went for work, the girl stayed with her grandparents at home. Once the grandparents had to visit someone urgently, so the couple decided to alternatively work from home. The first day, when Devi returned from school, she saw her mother at home. Seeing her, she got super excited. She started dancing and playing around her mother. But the mother was tense because she had work to finish. The mother at some point lost her temper on Devi and shouted, "Where did you learn that stupid dance? You look so stupid when you dance. Can you not sit still for some time so I can finish my work?" The next day was the father's turn. When Devi returned from school, she saw her father at home. And seeing him, she started singing and playing and jumping around him. But the father needed peace and quiet. After some time, he too lost his temper on Devi and shouted, "Where did you learn this stupid song? You sound so stupid when you sing. Can you not sit quiet for some time so I can finish my work?" What do you think happened to the little girl Devi after listening to such harsh words coming from her parents who loved her the most? Devi believed that she looks stupid when she dances, and she sounds stupid when she sang. She stopped dancing and singing. She even stopped playing and jumping. Slowly, she became shy, and even talking to someone became very difficult for her. She grew up with a lot of complex from what her parents told her. Surprisingly, we do use our words against the person we love the most. Parents use it against their children, children against their parents, husband, wife against each other. We use it against our brothers, our sisters, our nephews, our friends, our relatives, our neighbors. And not just that, we use the word against ourselves. I'm thin, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm good for nothing. We beat ourselves with our words. The problem is that we do not understand the power of our words. A word is not just a spoken expression or a written symbol. A word is a powerful tool with which we express and we communicate. A word is a tool with which we think and we create our life. A word is a tool of magic. But a word is like a sword with sharp edges on both sides. So one side is the misuse of the word with which we can create a living hell. The other edge is the proper and thoughtful use of the word with which we can create a living heaven. So depending upon how we use the word, we can destroy a life or we can create a beautiful life. That, my dear friends, is the power of the word. Once we understand the power of the word, we first need to use it for ourselves. I'll give you an example. At Toastmasters, my mentor taught me to use some words before I come on stage, every time. He taught me to say, I am the best. I am going to rock the stage today. And trust me, when repeating these words builds a lot of confidence and energy in me. And most often than not, that confidence and energy translates on stage. Just by changing the way I feel, I think, and I behave, the words that I use, I can change the outcome in my life. We can use the word to create magic in others' lives as well. I'll give you another example that I learned at Toastmasters. After someone gives a speech, if I walk up to that person and tell the person, hey man, you did such a wonderful job. You rocked the stage. Your speech was so wonderful today. What do you think would happen? That would encourage the person to come again on the stage and give his best. My dear friends, next time when you speak to someone, or even when you speak to yourself, remember that our words have great power. And with our words, we can create magic. Remember that we are the magicians. And our word is the magic wand we all have. Back to Toastmasters.
Of the members completely listening to you, each one of your words. Kudos to you, a big round of applause for her. The last and the final speech for today's prepared speech segment is a path breaker speech, which means the last project of a particular level. Before calling to the speaker, I would like to ask this evaluator. So this evaluator is a distinguished Toastmasters. And if by any chance you ask him, how are you? What he will say is, top of the world. He has got an impeccable choice of words and a good sense of humor. Please help me inviting DTM Vijayan to read out the evaluation.
Reflect on your path. The purpose of this project is, remember, to reflect on their growth during the completion of an entire path And the purpose of this speech is for members to share some aspect of their growth during the completion of a path. Timer, please note it's 10 to 12 minutes, and the speaker requested 8 minutes green card, 10 minutes yellow, and 12 minutes red. Back to the keynote.
Thank you. When I ask the speaker, what is your take on this theme? He said, learn from the mistakes of your past and don't repeat it in the future, because if you're repeating it, it's a crime for you. This person is a chartered accountant by profession, but he is into education field. With a thunderous round of applause, I would like to invite Shashank, Toastmaster Shashank Bhat on the stage. With a speech titled Trail of Transformation.
Transformation is a process, and like how life goes, there are ups and downs. It is a journey as well. There are moments of mountain tops, and there are moments of deep valleys of despair. Good morning, good evening, fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests. It was 2017 when I first gave my speech or a training program through a vendor. A colleague of mine introduced me to a college and he asked me to give a speech on GST. GST was just like in 2017. And in that university, my speech was well taken. It was a great speech. My first experience as a professional speaker went on really well. I felt confident. 2018 and 19, all good, went on really well. It was the year 2020 where COVID hit, we stayed at home. I had most of the trainings online. But in the year 2022, after almost 5 to 6 years of my journey as a professional speaker, I felt confident. I am the best. The first week of March, when my cousin, who was a speech crafter here at Bangalore Toastmasters Club back then, in the year 2022, he called and told me, we have a club called Bangalore Toastmasters Club. Why don't you join me? I'm joining the meetings on Fridays. I'm a speech crafter, it happens on Sundays, but I am joining the meeting on Friday. It's free. Why don't you join as a guest? I told, okay. He sent me the agenda. The first name I see in the agenda as prepared speech speaker was Dr. Rajdeep Manwani. And I remember because I had invited him when I was the president of my college in the year 2013 as a chief guest to deliver a speech on a certain topic. So I had already spoken to him, and when I saw his name, I made it a point to come here. It was meeting number 1315 on 11th March 2022. When I walked into the room, feeling confident, just to experience, just to see how it goes. The Toastmaster of the day was Toastmaster Varsha, who did a brilliant job. I thought I was the best, and then I found someone better than me. I thought, okay, this is next level. But then when the general evaluator gave her evaluation, who was an outsider, not a member of our club, DTM Vanitha Rangarajan, she gave such insights and such evaluations to the Toastmaster of the day, who I was in awe of. I thought, if such a good speaker can get such evaluations, constructive feedbacks, I am nothing. And that is when I thought, being the best, there is no cap. You can always get better. And immediately that evening I spoke to Toastmaster George, who was the VP membership. I paid the money the following week. I immediately became a member. And that is where my transformation started, from a so-called best speaker to the person I am standing here today. I selected this path, presentation master, because I was in the same field, into presentations, giving speeches, so that I can get better. That is when my journey as a presentation master started. My first speech was icebreaker, as all of us give that, and it was well received. I thought my speech was really good. Many people came and told me it didn't appear like the first speech as well. It was really good. I felt happy. Did I win the Best Speaker Award? No, but does it matter? Not really. Second speech was on writing a speech with purpose. I still remember Toastmaster Vivek Vijayan came to me and told me, it's been 3 months since I heard such a speech, emotional speech. People usually give me motivational talk or humor, but this was an impactful speech. That is when I thought, okay, this time I'll really get a certificate. Did I get a certificate? No. Why? Both the speeches, the other speaker, prepared speaker was, you came Rajdeep Manwani. That is when, I don't know if I have to say my confidence went up or went down, but I thought at least people recognize my efforts. In the first level itself, I am still in level 1. I felt confident because I got good feedback. Then I realized getting good feedback is more important than getting the certificate. Certificate is just a piece of paper. But more than that, if someone comes and tells you it was a good speech, that is actually better. So I took this confidence to project 3 and project 4 of level 1. I bombed it. It was a flop. I didn't give the speeches here because I was just elected as a treasurer of the club. So we had limited opportunities. So I didn't want to use the opportunities of other speakers. I delivered at other offline clubs. It was horrible, and that was my first reality check. I thought I was good. 2 speeches at this club went on well, but when I went outside to speak, 3rd and 4th speech was horrible. And then I sat back and thought what went well and what went wrong. And when I spoke to my mentor, who is coincidentally Dr. Rajdeep, I realized that even a specially able person like him, who has some restrictions in reading, he still writes his script before delivering it. I was shocked. I never wrote my script. I started writing my script. I got more confidence when I wrote my scripts, and then I carried forward this momentum to my level 2, which had 3 difficult projects. The first project under level 2 was understanding your communication style. So I discussed with my mentor as well. I wrote my script well. He gave me some inputs. I added some humor, and coincidentally that week the other competitor was not him, but was a member of another club who had come to our club to practice her speech because she was taking part in the international speech contest. And when both of us gave the speech, we were the only 2 speakers there. It was a tie, and both of us got the certificates, and that was my first Best Speaker Award certificate from this club. And it was against a person from another club who later on went on to become District 92 first runner-up. And that actually gave me confidence, because writing a speech and competing against such person who went from club level to area level to division level to district and came second. If I sit back and think, I competed against her and it was a tie. That gave me confidence to actually take my speeches to the next level and deliver better speeches as well. And second and third speech, I think Toastmaster Vivek would agree, because I remember his evaluation on this project to Toastmaster Rashi, I believe, on mentoring. It is not an easy project. Introduction to Toastmasters mentoring. Again, unfortunately, I delivered the speech in another club. I spoke about my mentor and how mentoring works, how I started mentoring people, and that came out really well. So my biggest takeaway from my level 2 was writing the script, proving that it works by winning the Best Speaker Award against a very good district level speaker. And then when I moved on to level 3, I sat back and thought, what am I learning from this path? And then I realized I have everything in my speech but theatrics and good stories. I have seen people who do this, and talk in a lot of voices, etc. I am not that person. Have you seen me dance around on stage? No. But I wanted not to dance, but to add stories to my speech. And that is when my first speech of level 3, which was persuasive speaking, kicked in. And that was a speech on wearing helmets. How many of you are part of that speech here? How many of you are present? Good. Very good. Do you remember what I mentioned in the speech? Yes. Was it actually helpful? Yes. I still remember Toastmaster Vivek sharing an anecdote when he bought a new vehicle, and whenever he wore that helmet, he thought of me. You may crash anytime, and face first. So all that, and then I realized this actually works. Stories are a way or means to connect with people because they can relate to it. And the other speech was also based on storytelling itself. So I added a brilliant story, I gave it at another club, and people were impressed. And my mission of adding stories to my speech were successful at level 3 itself. The 3 speeches I gave at level 3, I can call myself a decent storyteller. And you would have seen some stories at table topics itself at the club, right? So the point of adding stories when you don't have any time to think and deliver, that is what I learned at level 3. So as of now, I was a confident person. Suddenly my confidence went down at the end of level 1. Then I spoke to my mentor, wrote the script, transformed myself slowly. Level 2, I was back to basics, did the job well. Then level 3, even better, I am a decent storyteller. What's next? I thought I lacked impromptu speaking. I could not speak on the spot for a long time because that's my profession, and there are cases where the topic is for half an hour, I have to drag it for 2 hours. What should I do? Impromptu speaking. That is where I challenged myself at level 4, where I wanted to be an impromptu speaker. And coincidentally, when I randomly joined an online club meeting, there was a project, moderate a panel discussion, where the panel moderator was missing. So 2 minutes before the speech, I was saying, okay, we have the panel discussion next, we have the panel moderator who is actually missing. I volunteered. I don't know, I knew only the topic. I volunteered, stepped in, and finished. I handled the entire panel. I introduced the panelists briefly, whatever I knew, and then I did justice to that. So everything was impromptu, nothing was planned or prepared. And that is when I used that momentum to level 5 as well, when I had to start to speak professionally. The speech was preparing to speak professionally. It was an 18 to 22 minute speech, and you have to speak professionally. Was I ready? No. I wanted to speak impromptu again. I didn't try a topic which I had to do research on and deliver. I spoke on what I actually knew. And what is the topic on? GST?
New tax regime.
Income tax. Income tax regimes. 18 to 22 minutes. I could finish only half my speech because of time. I was in that flow, impromptu, telling all what is required, and then I finished only half my speech. But I somehow concluded and made sure whatever I had to tell, I conveyed it. But by now, standing here, when I am delivering my final speech of this path from level 1 to level 5, am I a good impromptu speaker? May not be. For that, there is a trial which happens next. Even though my speech was trial of transformation, there is a trial, TRIL, which happens later to see if I am a good impromptu speaker or no. Why? Again, this speech, I wanted to try impromptu. But not coming here and randomly speaking something, but I had to structure in place. I know what I have to tell, but more details I wanted to give on the spot. Because my profession demands this, and I wanted to learn this. So at the end of today, when I go back home, finishing this path on presentation mastery, what's in it for me? I learned to be confident, I learned to stay humble, I learned to write my script, and whatever I learned after being an impromptu speaker as well, I want to share it with the newer members. Because it's not only about me, it's about reflecting on my path, but not only for my transformation, but the members' transformation as well. So I'm always here to guide and mentor and to guide you through the paths so that you can give the speech soon.
So it's time for us to take a short 5 minutes break, a networking break. So we have a water dispenser just outside of the room and a restroom just in the dead end on the right side. So see you after 5 minutes. Send your resume to some of your colleague who is working in your dream company. That's the least you can do in your networking break. So moving on to the second segment. Moving on to the second segment of the meeting, which is table topics. And for this, the table topic master, he is an exporter of garments. You know, our finance minister will be very happy meeting him. As salaried people. He likes binge watching on Netflix. He's an avid reader as well. And I will be handing over stage to Toastmaster Jacob. A thunderous round of applause.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Toastmaster of the Day, Amaan. I have great pleasure in hosting this table topic session in the best club in Bangalore. Welcome. And yes, I see amongst us some legendary speakers like Akshay, and I had the privilege of listening to him speak at a contest, and needless to say, he toppled a giant. So we start the table topic session. The table topic session, for the benefit of the guests, is just impromptu, extempo, or off-the-cuff speaking. For the benefit of the guests again, when I give you a topic, you have to speak for a minimum of 1 minute, and at 1 minute, the timer will show the green card. At 1.5 minutes, you have to stop speaking, and it will be indicated by the red card. If you continue speaking, you will hear a loud thump. So that means your time is up. Now, I will be giving topics which are proverbs, and these proverbs you could take away as these are small phrases which have a lot of meaning and which you could incorporate in your speech. Now, I start by calling at random members from this wonderful audience to speak on a topic I give you. Now, the first topic which I would give to a speaker is time and tide waits for no one. Time and tide waits for no one. And the first speaker is Toastmaster Vivek Vijayan.
Time and tide waits for no one. I don't really agree. I mean, because time is eternal, and tide is also something which keeps repeating. The whole aspect of saying that time does not wait for anyone, that makes us really dejected. So what happens is that, say, you don't do well in your 10th standard, you feel that's the end of it. You don't do well in your degree, you feel that's the end of it. First job, and you feel, and a small change in those times makes your trajectory very different if you get dejected. So the whole idea that time waits for no one is wrong. Although there are many aspects for which time, and that time is gone, that's not there, but you have rest of the time in your life all the time. So the whole idea that, and tide, I never understood this tide business except for people in the coastal areas, but I have no clue about it. Why the tide doesn't wait for anyone, it need not wait, I really don't care. But time, it's okay. I mean, time does not wait, it's its business. It's your business, you can take the time that you have. Back to you.
Thank you for that wonderful speech. Tides are a part of nature. If you're not careful, they'll sweep over you like the tsunami. The second speaker we have is Toastmaster Richard D'Souza, and the topic for you, sir, is strike while the iron is hot.
Toastmaster and distinguished guest. There is time for everything. And if the time is not utilized, you will not get it back. In my life, I wanted to be an officer, and I worked hard for that. And I joined a bank which was in private sector at a time, and fortunately it was nationalized, and I became a government employee. I really thank for my friends who told, you have capability, you join a government organization. Earlier I was working for New Mangalore Port, and I was not happy with the people with whom I was working, because we had no same wavelength of thinking. Whatever I would say, they could not understand. And so I really took advantage, or more than anything else, courage to move to a bank by passing a competitive exam. During only that time, competitive exams were started. I went through a lot of books, and fortunately, I reaped the dividends of a government servant. Over to
Thank you for that wonderful speech. The next topic is a bad workman blames his tool. And the speaker would be Distinguished Toastmaster Dr. Rajdeep.
I'll talk about a bad workman. I don't know about how he trains his tools or whatever, correct? But I remember I was called for a college speech, and when I went for the speech, the inauguration kept getting delayed. And the teacher who was going to inaugurate me, I got really upset. Half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour. So I called that teacher and I told, this is not done. You had told me you're going to start the competition at 9:30 and you're going to start the speeches for me. And that's not done. It's already 10:30 and I got very angry. Anyway, afterwards I realized my mistake and I called that person back and I told, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean what I had to say. That teacher was mollified and he went on. But he was a bad workman. Because when he went on stage, I don't know how he introduced me. He said, you know, Mr. Rajdeep Manwani, he is a very good speaker. He always speaks his mind, but he has nothing in his behind. And I was wondering what he meant by that. He had made his tool of speaking so bad that I think so he had to frame his tool. But what I think is that when you talk about a bad workman, there is nothing as a bad workman and a good workman. Each person speaks to his own capacity. I have the tool of speaking in my way. Vivek has his own tool. Vivek, if you give any topic, he'll go against it. If you give me any topic, I will go for it. If you give any topic to Taran, he will speak about bananas and so each one has their own tool. So there is no bad workman, good workman. We have to just be a spokesperson in this Toastmaster and speak the best of what we can. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful speech. You tore my topic into pieces. The next topic would be actions speak louder than words. And the topic goes to Toastmaster Kamlesh. Ooh. Actions speak louder than words.
Yeah, I fully agree with the building. I fully agree with this action speak louder than the words. And I recall my few months back that I was given a task in my organization where I work, and it was the first task which was given, which is not given to anyone in my organization. And it was that the task was given for a business development. And business development, since I have a good network, what the companies thought of it. And also the marketing. So how I can, being as a consultant, I have to be also market well. And it was high expectation for my partner, my organization. And I was totally jammed at how I can able to do it, because I don't have any experience at all. But I have given a lot of thought, and I consulted with many of the people before I can start jotting down my action point. And I started working I started working on it. And after the 3 months of my action, it resulted on the result. And I tell you that it resulted in 2 actions. One is that I converted one company, and second that I am working closely with the company which is Delhi based, is a second company. So that is a big project that I have got about 4.5 crore of a business for the organization. So that was great. What I say that great is to say that how you can put your effort. You keep on talking to yourself, but how you put your effort, and that resulted to the action. So I truly believe that. Thank you.
Thank you for the wonderful speech. The next topic is a happy heart is better than a full purse. And the topic goes to Toastmaster Bhavya. A happy heart is better than a full purse.
Good evening, Toastmasters. So recently only my sister came from Bombay to visit me for the New Year. So yesterday we were going to the Bull Temple, but I had some work incomplete. We were ready, we will go but my work was incomplete, so I was not able to enjoy the trip, because at the back of my mind it was constantly I need to go home, I need to do it. So my heart was not happy, so that is why that trip was not good. So once I did complete my task, the next day I was happy, and then when we went out for lunch, so it was great, because I already had satisfaction back of my mind that now I don't need to do it anymore. Not 1 minute. Okay. Now I'm planning more places to visit with her, but we have already visited many places, so I'm not able to find new places to visit in Bangalore. Yeah, thank you.
Truly a wonderful speech, Bhavya. I only wish you could stay on the podium a little longer so that you enable us to shake your hand.
Oh my God.
So we have fellow speech crafter, Dr. Sandeep. The next topic is a jack of all trades is a master of none. I repeat, a jack of all trades, a master of none, and the topic goes to Nihaan, Toastmaster Nihaan.
Okay, so the jack of all trades and master of none, it was rephrased to me. So for the past 8 months I've been hustling. I've been doing a little bit of working on the side too, and that included meeting clients. And I spoke to a particular client and I said, you know what I'm doing? I'm not really learning anything. I'm just going, meeting clients, talking to them, closing the deal, negotiation, that's about it. I'm not really making any websites, I'm not doing any digital marketing. And all he said to me was, you don't really need to do. What you're doing is something you're not getting, other people don't get an opportunity. He says, be a master of jack of all trades and master of one. No, he rephrased it to me saying master of one. So for me, master of none, I don't really see how it works with a lot of people. And the way he rephrased it to me, it kind of rephrased a part of me too. Like honestly, that's what he says. and it really impacted me in a way. I was feeling a little bit more confident with myself. You could be better with one thing instead of nothing, and look forward to actually mastering one skill than to going and becoming, a jack of all trades. Okay, that's it.
Thank you, Nihaan, for giving a twist to this proverb. So we have the next topic. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. And the topic goes to Bhavana, Toastmaster Bhavana.
Thing of beauty is a joy forever. When I think of this topic, I remember my dog Simba, whom I got recently. He's a beauty, a true beauty who changed my life, who made me into a better person, and he made me, who's an impatient person into a patient person, and he's truly a thing of beauty and joy for me. And how I got my dog is also a very humorous story, because it was a very unexpected thing which happened in my life. So my friend calls me up one day. She was like, Bhavana, my brother's girlfriend, they both have broken up, and she's returned the dog to me. And since I have a dog, can you take this dog, Simba? And then I was like, no, sorry, I don't want Simba. But then I did end up agreeing in the end, and then he is a true joy of beauty. I forgot. Sorry.
Thing of beauty is a joy forever.
Thing of beauty is a
joy forever.
I think of beauty is a joy forever. He's a truly beautiful, beautiful dog, and my joy forever.
Thank you. Very wonderfully done. Another speechcraft. The next topic is a golden key can open any door. And the topic goes to Toastmaster Mahesh, Lokesh. Golden key can open any door. Okay, problem.
Good evening, gentlemen, and all the guests and Toastmasters.
Good evening.
I wouldn't phrase it as golden key or silver key. You just need a key to open any door. That's my take in my life. So, figuring out the key is your thing. So, basically, when I started, when in the long run, when I wanted to become an investment banker, so I had my plan. So, as an intern, I had to do a couple of forensic trading or a couple of internships. So I did around 3 internships, which landed up for a full-time job opportunity. Yep, and a couple of my friends also, they believe that this was a miracle kind of stuff, because getting into investment banking right from the UG, it's not an happening thing, right? So people in investment bank usually, and especially in mergers and acquisitions, right? They especially look for CFA level 3 cleared or CAs, and people who have 5 years or more than 2 years of experience like this. And it's also profiles of candidates who are basically from the Tier 1, IIMs and IIT are preferred. So this was whether you got to be pre-planned in your life and you got to have choose which is your key. It's not about silver or gold or platinum. It doesn't make sense. You just need a key in your life. That's it.
Wonderful take on the proverb. Now we have the next proverb. All good things come to an end. And the speaker would be Srinivas V. All good things meetings come to an end.
As we seed the plant, every tree grows. As soon as the seed started sprouting and the small leaves coming across, the beginning of the new leaf turns around. When it comes, the old leaf is supposed to fall down. Every good thing is supposed to come to an end. As like our Toastmasters, this is our term's final meeting. Our ExCom committee will be relieving from this term. Today is their last day. The new ExCom committee is going to take in charge from the next week onwards. Every new beginning should come to an end because every new beginning will be a challenging. Every old things will give you a new strength for the new people to take more and courage and passion, compassion to be a better person, better than they wanted to do something better than the person who was done before. Definitely we believe whoever comes, ExCom committee or yourself, whenever you're coming on the stage, your old fears goes off and new beginning, confidently speaking in front of people comes. That is a new beginning. Your fear goes away. That's a old. Over to you.
Really excellent take on the topic, and I also believe new beginnings always lend a lot of spirit, and the new ExCom, I strongly believe, will do equal justice to the previous ExCom. Personal feeling. So we have the next topic, don't judge a book by its cover. The proverb, don't judge a book by its cover. And the topic goes to Toastmaster Anirudh. Don't judge a book by its cover.
On September 5th, 1977, humankind undertook a project, something that they've never really thought about before. And this goes back to the days of Galileo, one of the first people on earth to say the sun was the center of the sun was the center of the solar system. Couple of hundred years later, scientists for the very, very first time launched a probe into the universe. Anyone wants to guess what this probe was?
Voyager.
Exactly, it was Voyager 1. One of mankind's first attempts to go out into space and really map the universe. As years passed, as time passed, you'll see Voyager 1 took some spectacular photos of humankind. It's actually today the farthest item that mankind has ever sent to space. It travels at 40,000 kilometers a second, and it goes about covering this distance, taking pictures of the universe for all of us to see. It's the only man-made device to discover that Jupiter has 2 moons. It's the only man-made device to discover Saturn has 5 moons. We didn't know any of this before. Tying this all back to why is this important? I know we typically come to this topic and we speak about people, but I would like to reference today that even thinking about why something is important shouldn't be judged. If someone were to think about this entire space project and judge it by what it can do, then we would lose the concept of scientific discovery. And that is why Toastmasters, it's important to never judge a book, whether it's a project or whether it's a person, by its cover. Thank you.
Thank you for that wonderful speech. A professional speaker. His speeches are really out of me. The next topic is the pen is mightier than the sword. And the topic goes to Toastmaster Vishal.
Toastmasters and dear guests. With a sword, you can terrify a person. Probably, if you're an excellent swordsman, a village. Maybe, if you have many swordsmen under you, a country. But imagine you're well read. Imagine you study every single day and you work towards your goals. You give a lot of emphasis to your mind. And one day you invent something that is more powerful than anything the world has ever seen. What if you are responsible to lead the free world? What if you have an arsenal under you that can decimate continents? What would you pick? One measly sword to threaten probably a few hundred people? To make sure you have a small child's grasp over the fate of the world? Or would you choose to have the power to change the very surface of the entire world with one signature? That choice is up to you. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Wonderful speech, as always. The next topic is practice makes perfect. And the topic goes to you, Madam Priyanka.
With this topic, what right now I recollect is a book that I'm reading currently. It's called The Art of Living a Good Life, where it speaks a lot about Charlie Munger's concept towards life, where he says focus a lot on the circle of competence, which is something that you need to focus on, something that you really want to sharpen your skill on. Why am I saying this is because there have been a phase where I try to just do what I've been told to do without even understanding how important it is to sharpen your skill or to know something what you are doing and why are you doing. I felt that was the right way to do when I started my career. But with time, what I realized was it is very important that you study what you are doing, understand what you are doing. And when you understand, you kind of apply what you do. So with this, you will actually widen your scope in what you want to do in life. It took me a good amount of years to realize that what I'm currently doing is not enough. I need to go beyond. And that is when I have decided to excel into another sphere of career. Hopefully things go well, and I am practicing and learning to get better towards it. Over to you.
And now we come to the end of the table topic session, and before which I would like to invite our guest Ashish to speak. Yes? And Akshay, I'm sorry. I'm quite floored by the speech which you gave for the contest and winning it, and your friend Trupti as well, wonderful speaker. And the topic is a rolling stone gathers no moss.
Good evening, everyone. I have a question for all of you. How many of you have been in Toastmasters for less than 1 year? Raise your hands. How many of you have been in Toastmasters for less than 2 years? Raise your hands. How many of you have been in Toastmasters for less than 4 years? Raise your hands. Now let me tell you, I see a lot of people here who have been in the fraternity for maybe 4 years or under. I've been associated with Toastmasters since April 2018. I came into this beautiful organization, a very small chick, learning from my peers like distinguished Toastmaster people, Justin, peers like DTM Rajdeep, Manwani, learning from the best. But the one thing I learned from all of these great speakers is that no matter how good you get, there's always some place higher to go. One of the biggest problems with success is that it taints our mind. It makes us complacent. We all know that feeling when we win that one best speaker award in a meeting and then we go, "Arey, we are the best here." What more to do in life? Well, a lot. A lot more for every other subsequent meeting. They say a rolling stone never gathers moss. Just like a rolling stone, be that Toastmasters that keeps on rolling, keeps on gaining experience, and you will see yourself as not a Toastmaster with moss on you, but shining bright like a diamond. Take that advice, take it to the bank, and be the best version of yourself you can be. One roll at a time. Back to you.
Thank you for that really wonderful speech. It was really a privilege for all of us to hear you. And now we bring the table topic session to an end, and I hand over the podium back to our Toastmaster of the day, Amaan.
Wonderful topics, full of proverbs, and I could see almost all the speakers spoke for 1 minute or so. The next and the last session for today's meeting is general evaluation. The general evaluator, she is a software engineer working in web development and data visualization. When I asked her what is your take on this current theme, she actually believes in Kaizen, which means you don't have to set a new goals at the end of the year. Instead, you grow, you change every day, slightly, incrementally. Because she believes on this quote, we often overestimate how much we can change over the short term and underestimate how much we can change over the long term. With this, I would like to invite Toastmaster Chaitra to take over the stage.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amaan. Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters and guests. It's so good to see all these wide smiles, and I see so many people finally relaxing. Especially the three very familiar people who've been on stage throughout the term, almost every single meeting. Today's meeting was in a new location, and in spite of that, it was very well organized. The board was done up very well, and everything has been set up very efficiently by our Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Shreya Sadugol. When she came here on stage, you could see her beaming with joy. At the end of the final meeting, final essay address. Shreya, we have seen you grow so much throughout the term. We have seen you transform and grow and become so confident. And today, you brought in some humor into your address, and you continued with your Thanksgiving as well. I like how you brought about a change in when you spoke about the 3 rules. She said, of course, all of you already know the 3 rules. I'm sure you've already turned off your phones and done all the other things. I have one small suggestion. I know it was it was your last address. But going forward, it would be nice to see you be a little more aware of your words when you're on stage. When you talked about Toastmaster, Taran teaching you how to use Google Docs, you said, I know it sounds lame, which is not very sensitive, but I'm sure as you come and give your speeches, hopefully a lot of speeches next term, you will use more formal language. Moving on, we had our President, Toastmaster Jos, also with a very wide grin on stage, and this time he was so relaxed as well. He opened the meeting with his usual efficiency, and he brought in our secretary to read his report, and afterwards he welcomed all the guests with his usual efficiency. Moving on to the secretary's report. Toastmaster Prakarsh, it has been amazing to see how much you've grown on stage, giving all these reports week after week. And I especially like how you brought about a little innovation in your reports. I know you told me about how you bring in your example sentences, and that is good to see when you have talk about the word of the day. Today, as usual, you were relaxed on stage, and then you handed the stage back to Toastmaster Jos. Toastmaster Jos, I especially liked today's speech topic. You spoke about the creative slump that Andre Matisse faced, and how he transformed and turned over a new leaf. I especially liked your transition. You spoke about how better listening, better thinking also led to his better expression as an artist. That was a great transition. After that, of course, he introduced the TMOD, Toastmaster Amaan. And Toastmaster Amaan, this is the first time you're taking the TMOD role, right? I liked how efficient you were, and on stage today, you conducted the meetings very smoothly. You spoke about India's favorite topic, cricket, and how, I like this twist in perspective. You spoke about how this change in perspective helped people turn over a new leaf. Now, this is very difficult for a first-time TMOD to do, and that is bring in the transitions between different speakers. And Amaan, I thought you did very well as a TMOD with those transitions. And I also thought that you conducted the meeting very smoothly today. If there is one suggestion I have for you going forward, I think when the last speech was delivered, some of the guests might have been wondering why we gave Toastmaster Shashank a standing ovation. So it would have been good for you to explain these for the guests. For these role takers, what do we give fellow Toastmasters? I think today's role takers did an amazing job. And now it's time for us to move on to the speech evaluations. Our first speaker, Toastmaster Veeresh, was evaluated by Toastmaster Mahavir. Mahavir, can we have you on stage?
Good judgments comes from experience, and experience comes from bad judgments. Mr. Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and Toastmaster Veeresh in particular, very good evening. When you came on stage, we had a superb opening. You narrated the story of the toddler, and you got our attention immediately. And after which, you went on narrating many stories relating to what topic you were saying, that is PNG, Principles of natural justice. What I really liked about your speech was the way you were so comfortable in your second speech. You were making an eye contact with everybody, you had the right body language, and the best part was that you narrated a story with every point you were trying to make, which really stood out for most of us. One thing that I could say that you could have improved in the speech, because the speech also wants you to have a purpose, right? So there has to be a purpose. There was a purpose, but I felt that there was too much information that one could take in 5 to 7 minutes. Maybe we could have, say, you gave us 3 principles of natural justice and how we could use those principles in making judgments for everyday life. Say, for example, DTM Vijayan, what is that one principle you remember that you would take home with you?
Don't be a judge of your own mistakes.
Exactly. So, say for example, 1 or 2 principles we all will take and we will remember it for a long time, right? So, other than that, the speech was very well organized and delivered it very well, and I'm looking forward to your speeches in future. So, for a wonderful job, well done. Give it up for Toastmaster Veeresh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mahavir. I completely concur. Toastmaster Veeresh, it was indeed a very well organized speech. And I really don't have much to add. I would like to, however, point out that your conclusion was especially smooth. Given that your topic matter was a little heavy, I like how you transitioned with that smoothness. Our next speaker was Toastmaster Amrit, and she was evaluated by Toastmaster Rashi. Toastmaster Rashi, can we have you on stage?
A very good evening to dear guests, speakers, Toastmasters, and my speaker in particular. I would like to begin with saying that the purpose of this project was for her to use vocal variety as well as body language throughout the speech. And I think she has done it brilliantly well. I would start with vocal variety. The tonality that you used while talking, while you spoke about the father scolding the daughter or the mother scolding the daughter, the encouraging tone that you used in the second half of the speech where she was trying to talk about the words and the impact words create on humans. And I think the volume was very well done, where you increased your volume in certain places where you wanted to show excitement, and also lowered it down when you were talking about the sad things or the mother scolding. And the clarity was really well throughout the speech. It was properly heard and understood by all of us. I feel one point which was missing in vocal variety was the pauses. I think if the pauses in places like where you spoke about grandparents had to go somewhere and the parents had to take care, maybe if there was a pause there where the audience could seep in that yes, the grandparents were going to be missing to take care of the granddaughter. And when you spoke about Devi dancing and playing, but then when she had to stop dancing and playing because she was scared of her parents. So I think the pauses there would have brought in or enhanced the speech much more. Moving on to body language, the stage was well used towards the left and the center. Very well used, you engaged the entire audience, but I think the right side of the stage was a little left unused and they might have felt a little left out, even though the eye contact was there throughout. The next is gestures. I think gestures were really well done, where you spoke about writing, got you beaten up, or even about the magic wand where you spoke about the 2 sides. That was really well done. Last is facial expressions. It was used in most of the places. I think 1 or 2 places it was slightly missing, where you spoke about words can destroy your life. So there was a slight smile in your face because you have it throughout. So maybe if you could just tone it down slightly. I think all in all, your speech was a good portrayal of body language and vocal variety. So maybe a little more enhanced could turn a new leaf. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rashi, for that very analytical evaluation. Toastmaster Amrit, of course, has done very well with her project. And I like how you kept everyone's attention throughout your speech. A round of applause for the speaker. Our third speech of the day was delivered by Toastmaster Shashank, and his evaluator is DTM Vijayan.
Reflection is a time for introspection. Madam Ji, fellow Toastmasters and guests, especially the members that joined recently and guests are coming for the first time, each part has 5 levels, and the final project in level 5 is to introspect, reflect how you did. And that's what Toastmaster Shashank was attempting. The first bit was reflect, and second, share some aspects. Let's see how well put his job. Toastmaster Shashank, both the boxes were ticked in the sense reflection was excellent and also shared some aspects. Did he share some aspects? Truckloads of it. 5 levels and 1 message for each level. Outstanding. Level 1, stay humble. You're flying high, you brought down Mother Earth, stay humble. Level 2, people think we can speak off the cuff. No, you got to write a script. Fantastic. Level 3, you've got to add stories to your content. Just data, stats, evidence will not seal the deal. Add stories. Level 4, impromptu speaking. It's challenging for anyone. And level 5, how you cover your entire content in the given amount of time. Brilliant. Well done. Now, Toastmaster Shashank, if I may entrust you with a few recommendations, how your reflection will help us do our introspection a little better. Now, I just got the feeling we spent a little too much time on the context setting. 2017, your first training program, until 2022, joined Toastmasters. If I were in your place, I would have condensed it and left more time. Why I say that? Because you told us how you reflected. Now, if I put myself in the shoes of the audience, I have this $1 million question. How do I implement what Shashank did? Now, sample this. Writing a script. How many of us have this challenge, writer's block? You show of hands? Who said all of us? Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Including yours truly. Now, writing script, one possible way to overcome writer's mental block is just open that Word document, take that paper and start writing. First sentence. Done. Adding stories, where did you source your stories from? Was it a newspaper, articles, the net, your friend, colleague? Tell us where you got that. Impromptu skills, some techniques. As a moderator, the 4 wives and the 1 husband. Bachelors, no one said it. The 4 wives, the 4 W's, the 4 wives are what, when, where, how. That gets you to speak more impromptu. And the 50% content, we speak 100 words, 120 words in a minute. Say 10 minutes please, so 1,400 words, have not more than 1,000 words, 1,011. That helps you cover the content. Having said that, the key takeaway challenges, or the key takeaways from your project, Toastmaster Shashank. Getting recognition is more important than the certificate. Brilliant. Because all of us strive for that certificate. That's well said. Second thing, be humble, be confident, and write your script. However confident you speak on. Toastmaster Shashank. Before I sign off, I just want to say, I've been Toastmaster 22 years, and I've seen when people get negatively affected in Toastmasters, negative effect, they deflect from the club. But after your reflection, the affection for you and Toastmasters at large will simply skyrocket. Back to the team.
Thank you, DTM Vijayan, for bringing a very humorous amount of learning into your evaluations. Speaking about learning, Shashank, we have learned so much about the reflection from a path, and I know that everyone here has been taking notes. After that, after the, can we have a round of applause for table topic session held by the table topic master, Toastmaster Jacob Eapen. Toastmaster Jacob, you conducted the session very beautifully. I like how you came on stage and explained the rules very nicely. And I know that when we speak about table topics, everyone is nervous because they have to speak impromptu. And everyone thinks that the table topics master escapes from that. But that is not true, because the TTM has to bring in a reaction to the speech as a transition. And that was very well done today in Toastmaster Jacob. If there is one suggestion that I have for you, when you asked the speakers to come up, you mentioned Toastmaster Akshay, right? Now I know that he's you met him before and you've heard him speak before. But as a TTM, it would be nice if you were more neutral to all the speakers. And I feel that the table topic session should be more of a show and not, being a little bit of a tell. Okay? But other than that, you did very well, Toastmaster Jacob. And for that, let us give him a round of applause. With that, we come to the three crucial role takers of this evening, the tag team. We'll move on straight to the timer for today. Toastmaster Taran, if you can deliver your report.
So dear Toastmasters, becoming a timer is actually a very critical job. It requires hard work, dedication, focus. Unfortunately, this timer doesn't possess any of them. But anyways, I look up to the greatest timer in this club. That is Toastmaster Vishal. There was a time when I had come to give a speech, and that man, being someone who is keen on joining the military, walks in tempo. He keeps time in tempo. I was trying to give my speech. Green card, right, talking. Yellow, then red. Somehow I ended my speech. And then I said, thank you, God. He said, you're welcome. But nevertheless, I want to state about the time. Everybody stayed in time. Nobody exceeded. But perhaps if I had gone like PNJ, Principle of Natural Justice, it would have worked. But I was following PVJ, Principle of Vishal Justice. Anyways, everyone stayed in time, and I have nothing more to say beyond that. So I will end as Toastmaster Jacob said, with the proverb. For those who follow time, I cannot think of any other words than rhyme.
It's good to see how you bring up so much humor in the rare instance that we see you in the club. Let's give him a round of applause. Our next role taker for today is the R counter, Toastmaster Shreya. Can we have you on stage?
Finally I completed it. So totally today we had 23 speakers, and out of this, sorry for using that. So we had 7 people who had no crutch words in their speeches. I would like to call out their names, starting off with Rajdeep and Nihaan, Mahesh, Lokesh, Srinivas, and then Rashi. And then people who used crutch words 1 to 5 were 12 people, and people who had crutch words more than 5 were 3. And total long pauses were 9 in all the speeches. Thank you.
Toastmaster Shreya is learning the importance of the R counter role. It's Toastmaster Brian, our grammarian. Brian.
To quote my mentor, Toastmaster Alan, you know it's a good meeting when the good usages outweigh the bad. So, to tell you all what the bad and the good usages were, let us start with the bad usages. I was not good at technology at all. I was not good at technology. For the last time, for the final time, keeping in mind the formal presence. A simplistic approach can be a simplistic approach in a nutshell rather than in nutshell. Toddler kid can be replaced by just toddler. When you use the term government, it has to be the article must follow the term government, so it is the government instead of just government. Came to me and told me, can you just told me? It was high expectations. There were high expectations. He is a beautiful dog. He's a handsome dog. Brilliant.
What is a beautiful formulation?
And brilliantly well can be just replaced by brilliantly. And there was one word that can be improved, which is the word resume or resume. The word has two pronunciations. Resume refers to the CV that you shared to your employer, and resume can be either let us resume the party or in the sense. So the good usages are turn over the leaf. It is easier to get to the top than stay there. A mammoth's total, time flies like an arrow. Quintessential, overturn the decision. Impeccable choice of words. Sweep over you like tsunami. Reap the dividends. Tore my topic into pieces. Decimate continents, one roll at a time, and incremental approach. DTM Vijayan was the only person to use the word of the day. The night is still young. Let us use the word of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Brian. You seem to be talking about dogs every time you come up on stage. Let's give him a round of applause. With that, we are almost at the end of today's meeting and the term as well. I know everyone enjoyed today's meeting thoroughly. I can see everyone smiling over here, and I can see all these smiles among the committee members as well. They have done a tremendous job this term. The amount of hard work that went in today for today's meeting and all the previous meetings, they conducted all the meetings so smoothly. Toastmaster Sheeb has organized everything. Toastmaster Jonas has also come in, the entire team, and given speeches every single week. Right? That's a lot of work. Our two role takers, the Son at Arms and the secretary, who were so happy when they signed off for the final time this term, and all the other members who put in all the hard work this term. They've done a tremendous job, and it has been a great term. Toastmasters and guests, what do we give them for this term? Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Amrit.
First of all, I would like to thank Toastmaster Sheeb for entrusting me and the meeting link has been shared to the group for the award ceremony, and the password is 2712. The password is 2712, and with this I would like to hand over the stage for the final time to Toastmaster Jones, the President.
I think we've been hearing the word last and final so many times today. Okay, for the last time, let me call all my committee members here. I think if you finished your voting, completed your voting, please join me on stage here.
Turn a little bit.
The ladies.
You can come in the center.
It's been a very rare occasion when we've had all of us here. I must say that it's been a wonderful experience, and the strength of this term, of this committee, has been the people here. I think they have done fabulously well. Each one of them have done their roles and well. Of course, there is always scope for improvement, and we do that. But I think seeing the age, except for both of us, I think they'll learn and they will really do well, because at that age, I wasn't even in Toastmasters, and I really don't know what I would have done had I been offered such a role. So they've done really well for themselves at that age, at whatever age they are, and I'm sure they'll do brilliantly well for the club and for themselves in the years to come. And it's been wonderful. Yes, we have the installation still there, and but this is the last official meeting of this term. So thank you all for the support that you've all been given throughout this term, and there's been a lot of learnings, a lot of not so good times, but we are here finally. And I think everything's well that ends well, because we started off with 7 members, and somewhere in the middle we didn't have so many members. We finally, 7 of us are here, so that's great. So yeah, I wish, I request Sheep
I think it's been a privilege and pleasure to work along with this fabulous team. I want to congratulate Toastmasters Jones for leading this team, so wonderfully. We had a great run, and I think, including me, all of us have learned a lot. A man of detail, I mean, I could. Working with him, I could learn a lot of things, and he was being a pillar, not only for me, I would say, and he used to guide us every time. Whenever we had some kind of challenges, he was the go-to person, and always he supported us with right kind of advices. And he, as a person, never encroached in our, whatever job we have. He entrusted us. I think one more point. He entrusted us with what we were supposed to do. At the same time, he was vigilant. At the same time, as a leader, and he ran the show. Please give him a big round of applause. And we have a big event coming up on Sunday. So from the new committee, I invite, on behalf of the committee, each one of you to be present with your family on Sunday at 9:30 a.m. at Chancery Pavilion Hotel, Residency Road, without fail. All the members, only members and their family, members of their family and members. Thank you so much. And from my side, for supporting me in this role of VP Education. And whenever I reached out to each one of you, you've been gracious and you helped eased my job so well. And thank you for that. Thank you so much.
Otherwise, I would have had each one of them speak. Unfortunately, we don't have the bandwidth, yes, for that. But I'm sure there will be occasions when you can share what you feel on this. Thank you all. Thank you. We'll proceed with the meeting. Yes. The best auxiliary role taker goes to this, goes to the committee. The best table topic speaker award goes to this guest who came and enlightened us by telling that Rolling Stones gather no more. Toastmaster Akshay. The best evaluator award. Sometimes I wish we get opportunity to speak after this evaluator gives his evaluation. Because then I think the speech would be the best speech ever. ATM Vijayan. The best role taker award. I think all the three role takers did well, but he did this with style and calm composure. The Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Amaan. And the best speaker award, I think she waved the magic wand and rocked the stage today. Toastmaster Amrit. I request all the winners to please come on stage so that we can have a photo. We have a small business meeting, a short presentation of our account. So what I would suggest is we have some snacks. So I request Toastmaster Brian D'Souza, our VP membership, to escort the guests out. You please have your snacks and get to know more about Toastmasters. Meanwhile, members, I request you to please stay back here. It's a very short thing and great speech. Meanwhile,
Mahesh.